Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin, big up the CoinsKid crew. So Bitcoin's currently trading around about $20,500, isn't it? Sort of crabbing a bit. It's got a bit boring again, you know. It's ran up and come back down, consolidating in a range. As long as you don't come back too deep in this retracement it's going through, then you're all good for continuation. And providing we can hold key levels of support as well, we are looking at consistently breaking out and coming back and doing things like that for Bitcoin, which is what you want to see, okay? And, you know, with XRP as well, if you do follow the XRP videos, that's broken out, ran into a key level resistance, and it's consolidating in a range right now. I've got some bids down there for XRP. It's getting quite frustrating, quite boring, you know, and it's drawing back basically, you know. It puts people off. People start to get shaken out, get scared, you know, or, you know, because people buy that big green candle, you know, the 55 cent mark right there for XRP. They love to buy big green candles, and then they get the big red dildos, don't they? What you want to do is buy the big red dildos and you get the big green candles. It's the opposite. You know, human psychology right there. So anyway, Bitcoin, this is a Bitcoin video, I do apologise. It's sort of in a range. Now, I am anticipating a little bit of a pullback for crypto because of the DXY. Let me show you. Like I said to you, I think that we might see a bit of a retracement here, because one positive thing for me for the DXY, okay, and crypto is the close that we got last week below that blue line just there, okay, because the polar opposite of that is Bitcoin closing above its blue line last night, which is amazing, because right now we've got an inverse correlation that the DXY is beginning to tumble and this is beginning to rumble basically. You know, if this thing can start to come up, I'm not saying it's not going to come back and retrace and hold support and things like that and get wick grabs of liquidity, but if this thing can do what it's doing right now and keep coming up the stairs and closing above resistances whilst the DXY comes down the stairs and closes below support, then it's positive. And it's data, it's not emotion, it's data. They're telling us that potentially we're carving out this structural bottom right now, creeping up the stairs, and the DXY is creating some kind of double top, the opposite of something that's bullish. It's bearish, it's coming down basically, and this is the opposite of bearish, it's bullish, it's coming up basically. So it really is that simple, you know. There's a big inverse correlation between the two, and right now they're inversely correlated, and they're confirming that by this closing above the 10 EMA and the DXY closing below its 10 EMA. Do you understand? So right now I do think potentially we're in for some kind of little retracement here, you know, potential little crash in crypto, come back, shakes people out, people get scared, but you're already putting in the legwork and you're already putting in the confirmation for me that, you know, you're looking pretty good here. And I wish I could tell you conclusively that you definitely are breaking out, but you've got this resistance here. Okay, you're coming up, you're breaking out, falling back to support. One thing I would not like to see is this sort of rounded bottom right now that we're getting, this potential Adam, this potential rounded bottom Eve. If we consistently hold this coming up, you know, we could be up there by, I don't know, sort of the end of November, early December. If we start to carve this structure out, you can see for me there's absolutely zero questions here. Like I said to you, you start to come up to that resistance, which is the breakout target with a falling wedge. If you slowly but surely start to come up, you're carving out the structure of a bottom. You break this yellow line just here, which is this high that you put in August, and then this red line, boom, see you later, you're off to the beach. Okay, and you know, Bitcoin's looking at an impulsive move, a bare minimal target of around about 92k, and I've gone through this multiple times with you. You know, and if you just start to see this, if you start to see this structure carve out like this and it breaks this could just be your entry point for Bitcoin and crypto right there. Okay, the opposite of that obviously is that right now we're experiencing some kind of bull trap on the DXY, you know, and this is a, you know, a potential bull trap as well with Bitcoin, that is coming up like that, and then boom, you're going to dump, and the DXY is just taking off into space, and it's had a little bit of a fake out down there. But we can't ignore the data. The data is telling me that, you know, Bitcoin's putting in a lovely little close above a 10 EMA, because like I said to you, run into resistance, come back for support, run into resistance, come back for support, coil up under compression, breakout. Okay, so you're getting your breakout right now, and we have to adhere to the data, and the data telling us that you're breaking out. So, you know, I'm not saying you're not going to do something like that and move up and down stairs, but, you know, if you're consistently closing above resistance, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see. So for me right now, the bias is switched towards the fact that we have actually bottomed right now. Okay, but I'm looking to jump up and down with you and say, yeah, absolutely, you know, got confirmation that we're bottomed by breaking this yellow line and this red line. For me, do that, zero questions. One of the earliest precursors that I can give you, okay, is what it's doing right now. The fact that you're getting back above the 10 EMA because of the overextension. Like I said to you many times, when you was all the way down here, the EMAs were going vertical. I said to you, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Big gaps in the EMAs, which is usually what you see at the bottom. You know, too much greed in the market, and then you tend to slow down and carve out the structure of a bottom, and it's doing exactly that. So it's doing it under our noses, okay, but people are still in denial that the fact that this could actually be the bottom, purely because we've not had the big 80 to 85% bear market correction which we usually have, okay? Because in my opinion, I don't necessarily think this is the traditional sort of bear market, in the sense that you've got this massive bear market that we usually see for Bitcoin, because I think that what we've got is this massive impulsive move here, and it's got subsets of waves within this, and after that you've got a massive bear market. Do you understand? And that's always been my projection right there for Bitcoin. But anyway, I'm boring you. I do apologize. I keep going on about the same old thing, but I'm just trying to relay my message to you. You know, to invalidate all that right now, we've just got to see the collapse here. So for me, like I said to you, if we start to see this support lost and multiple levels of support on different charts that I've shown you, then yeah, I think you're coming down, you know, and you're not going to retrace these EMAs. You're not going to carve out your structural bottom. You're not going to start to come up the stairs and break out, and you are looking at a bigger dump, and you've got targets down there, 14k, 10k. I've seen some people say it's going to 3.5k. It can absolutely happen, of course it can, and then it would be the macro environment playing its hand here. But at the minute, I have to pay attention to the charts, and the charts are telling me that this was the bottom, and right now you're carving out the structure of a bottom looking to come up. So for me, I'm buying. I'm a buyer here, okay? And that's all I'm doing. I'm just relaying the data to you. You know, it doesn't mean you have to, but so far so good. Everything's doing okay. We're seeing lovely little pumps on altcoins. I mean, check out Chainlink. I'm going to do a video for you on Chainlink. That's carving out one of the largest ascending triangles I've ever seen. You know, if that thing breaks, wow, expect fireworks on Chainlinks into 2023. But anyway, that's Bitcoin. You know, I hope you enjoyed that update. There is a bit of a double top on the 4-hourly time frame. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so you've got some kind of double top here. And again, you know, this retracement is perfectly healthy, providing you come down like you did here, wick down, come down, hold support, can continue basically, you know, and get this kind of curvature, this rounded bottom that we're looking for. So what am I looking at right now? Well, like I said to you the other day, I was short around about here, wasn't it? But it came up, I got stopped out, but last night we started to create this descending triangle, caught up, and I've gone short again with my stop loss on that high just there. So I'm looking for this thing to come down to this green trend line over the next sort of few days here, leading to a retracement for the DXY before it makes a lower high and drops, and this thing will find support and bounce. And that's just going to be a really, again, a positive statement if we see that in the week for Bitcoin and crypto. If a DXY makes a lower high right there and starts to come down and loses a low from last week, wow, we really are looking good, okay? And that's just the truth of it. It's the data, it's not emotion. So right now, what am I looking at for Bitcoin? Well, if this thing is a confirmed double top like this, I think we've got bearish divergence as well. Let's take a look. Yeah, we've got bearish divergence, which is always what you see at a double top. So just there, we've got a trend line in the RSI, which is pretty much where the neckline is. So you can see right now, if this thing starts to come down and loses this trend line, I think you're coming down, okay? And a good little entry point, if this thing starts to come down and gets really, really oversold down here, like it did here, okay, and like it pretty much did here, and find support on this green trend line, this could be a really good entry point for you. So where would that be? Let's have a look. So I'm going to use Fibonacci to try and find it, because right here we've potentially got some kind of ABC correction, which is an irregular correction, because this, for my opinion, I think this is impulsive, okay? This is corrective, and this could be still part of the corrective wave, and this is still coming down. This is some kind of big ABC, some kind of expanded flat correction that will come down. So basically, if we get rejected here, again, this could be a really strong level of resistance, because it's some kind of descending triangle like this, resistance and support. You're coiling up, you're broken down, you're confirming this is resistance. So if this thing starts to come down and you see it lose a 1 fib, for me, you might get some lovely little bids down here on $19,375. You get your little wick grab, like that wick grab and that wick grab. But if we can close down here on this green line, we're holding the support, I'm going to start to come back up, okay? So this is something I'm looking at for Bitcoin. You know, the negation of that, if we start to break down here and we turn this into resistance or do something like that, that's really, really negative. You know, it's the truth of it, you know, and we're invalidating this sort of holding support and coming back up the stairs here for Bitcoin. So, you know, it is on the knife edge. What's going on here is really important. It's some kind of big double top. So again, if we start to lose the 1 fib at 20008 and we start to come down, turn that into resistance, I think you've got a bit of an ABC correction here, some kind of, you know, ABC correction, flat correction, down to the 1618 around about 19375, which could be a really, really good area for you to put some bids in on Bitcoin, okay? And you could see you get that wick grab below the green line, start to close back up, and you're beginning to continue here, carving out this structural bottom coming up the stairs, okay? But for that to be valid, we need to see the DXY come up, make a low high, and drop again. And if it loses that low from last week, where it closed below, you know, the 10 EMA on the weekly time frame right there, then for me, I've got to start jumping up and down telling you the bottom's in, okay, because the data is telling me that. So right now, you know, if this thing is a bit of fake out and, you know, you've got some kind of correction here and this impulsive corrective going up like that, if you start to see Bitcoin take out the zero fib 21077, then this thing's just really taking off, and it's not necessarily looking for a retest of that support down there, okay. But I do anticipate that there's some kind of double top, you know, some kind of profit taking going on right now, running to resistance, coming back down, and this would be a really strong area of support for me, the 1618 at 19375. So what am I right now? I'm short with my stop loss on the zero fib at 21077. I'm currently short and I'm riding this thing down, okay. And obviously if it comes up like this, I get stopped out, you lose a bit of money, but this is trading, riding the waves. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Remember, all of this, you know, trading, spot buying, whatever, you can do it all on Bybit and BitGet. Amazing sign up bonuses. Take advantage of making money in this space with all the swings and everything like that, okay. Take care everyone. Back to a update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and thank you for your support. Bye bye.